In today's video, we look at a fleet of weaponized or otherwise dystopian Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars that you could use right out of the package for Gaslands, the game of post-apocalyptic vehicular mayhem. Well, hi folks, it's Lee from skirmishwargames.com. Welcome to the channel. Lynn and I are still here. We are complying with a stay-at-home order due to the coronavirus pandemic. And while it seems a little strange to be talking about tabletop wargaming in times like these, Lynn and I have decided to keep producing videos and hopefully provide you with a small distraction while we all collectively weather this storm. So today we're going to be talking about Gaslands, the game of post-apocalyptic vehicular mayhem from Osprey Games. Specifically, we'll be talking about Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars that seem particularly suited to Gaslands and could be used right out of the pack with little or no painting or modeling. So for many Gaslands enthusiasts, a big part of the game's appeal is modifying cars and assembling teams. And if you do this by scrounging excess parts from the bits box or from around the house and keep your builds relatively simple, then creating Gaslands cars can be a reasonably inexpensive endeavor. However, once you start investing in third-party resin and plastic bits and then gradually increasing the amount of time you put into each vehicle, then yeah, you're going to have a higher investment on the front end in time and money before actually playing the game. So if you're less interested in the modeling aspects of Gaslands, or if you just want to try the game out before putting a lot of time into building cars, there are some very economical options that can get you playing the game right away. Perhaps the purest and cheapest way to play Gaslands is to find yourself a bag of scuffed up, dinged up cars at the local flea market or garage sale. Throw a solid colored tarp or blanket over your kitchen table. Raid your recycling bin or the pantry for bits of terrain, and then just play the game. This sort of minimalist approach is a perfectly awesome way to experience Gaslands, especially if you're just starting out. Having said that, however, the game does become quite a bit more cinematic if the cars you're using happen to have guns on them or have some other kind of road warrior or death race type aesthetic. Fortunately, there are a number of Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars that come essentially Gaslands ready right out of the pack. Either they come pre-weaponized or they have some sort of a sci-fi or dystopian design that lends itself to post-apocalyptic vehicular mayhem. Best of all, a lot of the basic Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars are just $1 at Walmart or the dollar store, and even the upscale ones are usually less than $4 or $5. Of course, if the discount stores don't have the specific vehicle you're looking for, odds are you can find a cheap version of it on eBay, especially if you don't mind buying a used car that's obviously spent some time in the sandbox. In fact, as far as Gaslands goes, sometimes the more weather-beaten your car is, the better. So to give you some examples of Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars that are pretty much Gaslands ready, or could be made so with just a small amount of modification, Lynn and I are going to open up some of the cars I've accumulated that kind of fit that criteria. Most of these we got off the rack at a discount store, which is the ideal way to do it. Others we got through Amazon, eBay, or the local flea market, which can be a little bit more expensive. But if you can find a car that you like for a reasonable price, especially if it's less than $5, that's actually a pretty cheap investment in a game that could provide you with many hours of entertainment. Okay, Lynn, well, you've been watching me buy Hot Wheels cars every time we go to Walmart for the last year and a half. Are you ready to finally open some of these up?
Yes, let's get to it.
Let's start with a collection of military-inspired vehicles, including the contents of this 1991 Hot Wheels Action Command gift pack. So, full disclosure, I did spend $20 for this gift pack on eBay, but since it had several vehicles I thought I could use for Gaslands, that's still not too bad. Let's start by looking at this camo half-track here, which I think is called Tank Gunner in this incarnation. Here's an earlier version of the half-track. This is the one I actually had when I was a kid, and it still got playground dirt in it. And this guy is known as Gun Bucket. You can also find civilian versions of the same half-track under the name Swing Fire. We got this 1995 model from the local flea market for about $4.25. The interesting thing about Swing Fire is it has the gun platform, but no 50 caliber machine guns, so you can mount whatever weapon on there you want to. So that's Swing Fire, Tank Gunner, and Gun Bucket. This Action Command set also has a camo version of the Enforcer, previously known as the Super Cannon and originally known as the Mega Destroyer. I'll tell you why in a moment. So Hot Wheels has been making different versions of this car for about 40 years, and the new ones are really inexpensive. I think we got this purple one at Walmart for $1. Some of them are kitted out with top-mounted rockets, and others just have the side machine guns. The original versions of this car, known as the Mega Destroyer, are based on the 1982 movie Megaforce. If you ever stumble upon any original Hot Wheels Megaforce cars at a garage sale or a flea market, and they're not asking too much money for them, snap them up, because those cars are definitely collector's items now. Now, the real reason I bought that old Action Command gift pack is it included a civilian version of Tail Gunner, a jacked up pickup with a couple of 50 caliber machine guns on the back. This truck comes in tan and olive versions too, but I kind of like the Civi model here because it looks more like a rebel militia vehicle. If you don't mind buying one used out of the pack, then you should be able to find one of these trucks for about $5. Okay, here's one of my favorite vehicles from this group. This is the Assault Crawler, which I think was part of the Action Command line, but this one's on a different card. And then, of course, we have the Warthog from the very popular Halo video game series. The open-topped Warthog could be easily enhanced by the simple addition of a driver and a gunner. But of course, you can also use them right out of the pack, like they did at the Genghis Khan Gaslands tournament that we attended last year. I have to say I'm a pretty big fan of the Hot Wheels Assault Crawler. It's an easy vehicle to find, it's not expensive, and yet there's a lot of details in there, a lot of wheels and rivets and tools, and of course the big gun on the top if you want to do a little painting, a little customization. But, on the other hand, you can use him just the way he is. He looks pretty good and ready for Gaslands. Okay, let's go back an astounding 50 years and talk about the Red Baron. Here's a more recent version of the Red Baron from around 2011, but Hot Wheels has literally been producing this car since 1970. If you're not too concerned about the color, you should be able to find a modern version of the Red Baron without too much trouble. But personally, I like the older models that are a little bit beat up. This one here is probably from the mid-70s to the early 80s because he doesn't have the pronounced foot-stabbing spike on the top of the helmet. I guess that was a feature of the earliest Barons. Anyway, if you look for quote-unquote junk cars that don't have a lot of collector value, they're usually pretty reasonable. I think I paid $7 for this one. Someday maybe we'll do a classic confrontation scenario featuring Snoopy versus a squad of Barons, assuming we can find Snoopy some allies. I'll have to think about that. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about Hot Wheels Star Wars car ships and character cars. Here are a few car ships inspired by some iconic Star Wars fighters. Here's a Y-Wing car ship. That would probably make a pretty good Mishkin car. And here's a car ship inspired by the classic X-Wing. That looks like some kind of a high-tech performance car. This buggy here is neither a car ship or a character car. It is in fact yet another version of the classic Megaforce-inspired Enforcer, so they got a lot of mileage out of this design. And then there's a pretty extensive line of Hot Wheels Star Wars character cars. Here is the Elder Han Solo character car, the Young Han Solo character car, and the Classic Han Solo character car, which also comes with a Chewbacca flatbed. Here's a closer look at Poe Dameron's X-Wing car ship and the Classic X-Wing car ship. I think there's also a Rogue One Partisan X-Wing car ship, which has a different color scheme. Now here's a close-up of the Hot Wheels Star Wars Y-Wing car ship. To me this looks like some kind of high-tech reactor-powered Gaslands car, probably with energy weapons. Okay, so here are 3 generations of the Hot Wheels Han Solo character cars. I'm not sure if that thing on the hood is supposed to be an air intake or some kind of a weapon, but certainly you could say that's a minigun for the purposes of Gaslands. So we've actually had pretty good luck finding Hot Wheels Star Wars car ships, character cars, and starships at the local Walmart here over the last couple of years. I think they typically run just under $4 a piece. But more recently, say the last several months or so, the supply has been dwindling and we haven't really seen a lot of new stuff coming out. Maybe they're cutting back until Disney unleashes the next wave of Star Wars movies. Okay, next let's look at a trio of weaponized street vehicles from Hot Wheels. These are cars that don't appear to have any military DNA, nor are they inspired by a major science fiction franchise. So this gun-toting Hot Wheels car is called Turbo Turret. It's available in several different incarnations, pretty easy to find, not expensive, and I think it even appeared in a Happy Meal at one point. Here's one of the many different versions of Sting Rod 2. This is another car that's pretty easy to find. Stingrod 2 has quite a lot of rivets. It also has top-mounted rockets, side-mounted rockets, and even some hood-mounted guns. Stingrod 2 was presumably preceded by this heavily armed and armored car known as Stingrod. Stingrod has been reimagined multiple times over the years. There's even an Iron Man version and an especially cool police version. As you can see though, the bright orange plastic on this particular car is a little bit off-putting. I think if you painted the orange guns and then threw a wash and some highlights on some of the rivets and other details, this car could really pop. Okay, so that's Stingrod, Stingrod 2, and Turbo Turret. Next, we'll take a look at the Hot Wheels Disney Pixar Pizza Planet truck. So this weather-beaten delivery truck here is part of the Hot Wheels Real Riders series. We noticed it in our local store here just prior to Christmas 2019, and my immediate reaction was, this thing looks like it belongs in Fallout. In fact, I liked it so much that we used it as one of our bad guy cars in our Gaslands holiday special video. The top-mounted Pizza Planet rocket was used as a one-shot BFG. Okay, we're getting down to the end here. We have sort of a mixed bag of Hot Wheels, Matchbox, and even a Maisto car in here, and we'll burn through these pretty quickly. Here's a heavily armored tactical rescue vehicle from the Matchbox Working Rigs line. I think we paid about $6 for this at the store because it's sort of a larger scale vehicle. So yeah, you could use this right out of the package as some kind of trailerless war rig. Or if you're feeling really ambitious, try to convert it into a Landmaster type survival vehicle like they had in that old movie Damnation Alley. And let's give a shout out to some of our other Matchbox vehicles since they're kind of in the minority here. Here's the lifted 68 Ford Mustang. And here's the Jungle Crawler. This lifted 68 Ford Mustang comes in a number of variations, but I really dig this one with the skull on the front and the mud spatter. So even though this car doesn't have any guns on it yet, it just screams Gaslands. Same goes for the Jungle Crawler. It doesn't have any visible weapons yet, but it certainly fits the Gaslands aesthetic. Both of these vehicles come in multiple versions, which means they're cheap and easy to find, and I'm pretty sure we got both of these at Walmart for just $1 each. Here's a cheap Maisto car we got at the dollar store. This one's called Lead Slinger. It comes pre-equipped with weapons, armor, and even a top hatch, so it's pretty much ready for the Gaslands arena. So it looks like Lead Slinger is rocking 2 forward-facing miniguns. He's also got armor on the doors and the windows. He needs some new wheels though. Those wheels aren't the greatest, but this is one of those cars that with just a little bit of paint and modification, you'd really have something. Okay, let's wrap this up by looking at a few more Gaslandy type vehicles that I just think are kind of cool. We got the Punisher van, a cyborg truck, the Grewmobile, the Homer. Then there's this rocket-powered El Camino, some kind of ratty VW bug, and the Metro Rail. The Punisher van is sort of a premium Hot Wheels car, so it's a little more expensive than the standard Hot Wheels, but it's armed to the teeth, pretty solidly constructed, and there's plenty of room inside for extra crew. And of course, this is the Homer, powerful like a gorilla, yet soft and yielding like a Nerf ball. I'm sure you can figure out something fun to do with this, especially if you have an affinity for the absurd. So I'm not exactly sure what the deal is with this custom 71 El Camino. It looks like it's rocking a flux capacitor and twin rocket engines. It's pretty cool as is, but there's also plenty of spots to mount weapons on it if you're so inclined. This here is a Hot Wheels Injustice 2 cyborg-inspired vehicle. I think I got this at Toys R Us when they were going through liquidation a couple of years back. This could be some kind of a high-tech Gaslands pickup, or maybe even some sort of a Martian Security Forces patrol vehicle. I guess Hot Wheels made over a dozen versions of the Metro Rail Nash Metropolitan car over the course of about 15 years, which means they're cheap and easy to find. I especially like this Silver Pursuit model. It kind of has a retro anime hot rod vibe going on. It doesn't have any external guns on it yet, but this could be the foundation of a really great Gaslands police car. So when the Hot Wheels Despicable Me Grewmobile first came out, I could not find one locally anywhere. So I broke down and ordered one online for about $8, and then a couple of months later we were walking through Walmart and they had these big cardboard bins at the end of the aisles that were just stuffed with excess Hot Wheels. And they had probably about 10 Grewmobiles in there for 95 cents each. So I have a couple stockpiled in case I want to disassemble them and use all of those riveted panels for something. I also fished more than one of these custom Volkswagen Beetles out of those cardboard bins. This makes for a great buggy. It already has a Gaslands appropriate paint job and a nice little weapons platform right on top. There's also a red version of this VW that I actually used as a crow's nest on my Gaslands war rig. Well folks, that's everything we wanted to show you today. We hope you enjoyed this look at some Gaslands ready Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars with one token Maisto car thrown in for good measure. Okay Lynn, so out of all the cars we unpacked today, which ones were your favorites?
I like the beat up bug.
Yeah, you kind of have a thing for those Volkswagens. I think that was one of your first Gaslands builds, wasn't it? A different bug?
Yes, it was. Rocket bug.
Rocket bug. Yeah, and you mentioned earlier you actually liked this shiny red Baron, too.
Yeah, I really like the design and I like the decals that are already on it, too. I think we should really do a Snoopy versus Red Baron scenario, but we'd have to get Snoopy some allies.
Yeah, I think I still have that funny Big Bird car. Maybe he can be a grown-up Woodstock.
So what was your favorite car?
Well, even though they don't have any guns on them, the Metro Rail Nash Metropolitan and the El Camino with the flux capacitor in the back are both really interesting designs. But if I had to choose one, I'd have to go with the classic Red Baron from the mid-70s to early 80s. He was being sold as a junk car, but he wasn't quite ready to get parted out yet, so instead he's going to find new life in the Gaslands arena, and I think that's pretty fitting. Well folks, as always, thank you very much for watching. We have a lot more Gaslands planned for the months ahead, as well as videos on a ton of other wargaming systems, both old and new, so stay tuned for all that. But in the meantime, if you like the things we do here, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, please give this video a big thumbs up, and of course please visit us online at our website, skirmishwargames.com.